Hey everybody, it's Heidi Hope. Sorry I am late today. It has been a crazy Friday. But I'm here, and I have your questions. So let's get started. All right, I'm going to pull my first one here. Okay, Venus asks, do you use portraiture on all your photos? Yes, we do. And we just batch it out in Photoshop, so it's super easy. Yeah, and then we do a lot of hand retouching on top of that, but we always start with portraiture for like the basic skin retouching, and we keep it really light so that it doesn't look overdone or fake. Okay, great question, thank you. All right, Kimberly asks, your studio has amazing natural light, but do you ever have to supplement with studio lighting for dark winter days? If so, what do you recommend? So we do not ever supplement with studio lights. We only use natural light. Mostly because I just haven't figured out how to get studio lights to look as good as natural light, and because our natural light is so good that we've never really needed it. There have probably only been maybe like one session a year where we've had to reschedule because there was not enough light. But if you guys have seen pictures of the studio, you'll know like we have built it so there is plenty of natural light. We really don't ever run into that problem. And for that reason, I've been super lazy and I haven't really learned how to use lights very well. We have a couple of Alien Bees with big soft boxes, but we just haven't, we've tried them out and I just didn't like the way they looked, and so I put them away and we've never taken them back out again. So yeah, that's kind of how we do it here. Okay, great question, thank you. Next we have Mary Beth asking, what sizing do you use to make your images pop and look so sharp on Facebook? We kind of change around all the time because it sort of depends on what our blog is taking, and general rule of thumb, we save it to 800 to 1,000 pixels wide, and the resolution can be anything because you're just setting your pixels, and then we save it as a PNG in sRGB. So I don't know if that helps or not, but supposedly it helps to save it as a PNG for image quality on Facebook. And so that's what we do. And I don't know if it works, but whatever. Okay, so yeah, I hope that answers your question. Okay, let's see. We have from Christine Robin. In your TV interview a couple of weeks ago, you mentioned in the early years while building your business, you spent a lot of time at night working on your SEO. Can you tell us more specifically what you were doing to improve SEO? Awesome question, and I know that I did not get to this in past weeks, so I'm glad that I pulled it today. So in the beginning years, when especially the first year of my business, I set up my website, and then I worked really hard on getting it out there. So SEO is always changing. The way that Google ranks you is constantly changing. There's all different algorithms, especially within social media. So for my Google search engine ranking, that's what I was focusing on at the time, and I used to just Google ways to improve my search engine ranking. Here are some of the things I did. First, I made sure that my site had a lot of presence on the internet. So I looked for free listing sites where I could list my website. I did sign up for reciprocal links with other websites, and I really tried to post a lot. I would consistently post on my blog and then link to my blog on all of my social media platforms. And at the time, it was really just Facebook that I was concerned with. Facebook was like I barely had a presence at the time, but I would just link every single post that I did. I would link to it on Facebook. And when I posted on Flickr, I would link there. And so I just really created a lot of links on different websites. So that was the thing that I focused on in the beginning. Then I got more in-depth into SEO and worked with things like my keywords in the titles, keywords in my blog posts, using a minimum number of words in blog posts, and this is always changing. So what I recommend is you really either you hire an SEO expert, which is what I would do now because I would never spend that amount of time again doing that, but I did what I did. Hindsight is 2020. So at this point, I would hire an SEO expert. Or another thing you can do is actually try Googling SEO for photographers. There are some great experts out there. Zach Perez, I think, is one of them. and you know, if you plug that in, you're going to get some great free resources that are out there, and then there are, you know, new books written every single year, and I tend to try to keep up on that stuff because I find it fascinating and kind of like a little challenge. So if you want to do the work yourself, you can definitely find a lot of great resources online as well. Just Google it. Okay, great question. All right, we're going to take one more today, and I'm sorry that is all I have time for because it's been kind of insane here. This is our busy season. I am trying really hard to just keep up with FAQ Friday, but it's sort of nuts for us from here until December. So you will see me each week, but they will be brief. Okay, Katie asks, hey Heidi, thanks for keeping FAQ up and going. You're welcome. Here's my question. You have mentioned before that you're making some changes to your workshops for 2015. What changes will you be making? How many shoots do you typically do? And do you do outdoor shoots for the winter month workshops? Okay, Katie. Great questions, and this is very timely because some of the changes, first of all, so there are 3 workshop dates set for 2015. They are in January, February, and March. There is no mileage restriction on those. January has 2 seats left, I think. March has 1 seat left, and February still has a handful of seats. So they are definitely going to sell out soon. What I've decided to do is actually reduce the number of attendees. So rather than being 12 to 15 attendees, I'm making them 10 to 12 attendees, and I am raising the price for the remaining seats are going to be $2,200. You have 1 week left to reserve the original price, which was based on more attendees, but I've decided I like working with a smaller group, so to be able to do that, I'm changing the pricing. So if you want to get in on the original pricing, you need to book it in the next week. After that, it will be the higher pricing, which reflects the smaller group numbers. Everybody who already paid their deposit under the other pricing, you get the bonus of a smaller group and that original pricing. So good for you for signing up early. That's one of the changes, smaller group size. Another thing that I'm working on is redoing my workbook. So my business changes from year to year, and that's going to all be reflected in the workbook that you guys receive. So that will be edited and updated. What else? We do 4 shoots generally. We have a newborn session with 2 newborn models. We do a cake smash. We do a family session. We do some baby sessions. In the winter time, we generally do not go outside because it's freezing cold, and we work with little babies. And little babies don't like to be when it's 20 degrees outside. They don't like taking their pictures out there, and I totally understand. We did have snow on the ground for like our January workshop, and we took them outside for like 5 minutes just for fun, just to go out in the snow. But that's really, we can't guarantee that. So I would plan for everything being indoors in those winter months, and we just show you how we do everything at our studio, which is pretty awesome in and of itself. If you want outdoor shoots, those are summer month workshops. We're thinking about releasing some of those, but it's going to be a totally different workshop experience. We've got some awesome guest photographers who are lining up to come and see our studio and help present to you. So there'll be a group of different photographers, most likely, along with learning our studio and our business model and all of that good stuff. So that is all stuff that I am not ready to announce until the new year, but those of you who turn into FAQ Friday get to hear a little teaser about it. So if you're thinking maybe a summer month trip is your ticket here, then you can kind of keep that in mind for the summer. Otherwise, our old HHP Boutique Baby workshop model, the last 3 of those are the ones scheduled in 2015, and I'm not sure that we will ever do them again. So if you want in on that gig, then definitely hop online and book those, and if you do it within the next week, you will get that introductory pricing for that. So thank you for your awesome question, Katie. Something I've been meaning to tell everybody anyways, but we've had so many crazy announcements lately, and I've been getting water dumped on my head, and I just forget, you know? So thank you everyone who joined us this week for FAQ Friday. I hope you all have a fabulous Labor Day weekend, and you get to enjoy it with your families. Don't work too much, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.